This is the BBC.
Do you sell chips?
This is the BBC.
I must have come to the wrong place.
I made an appointment to have our tomcat doctored.
This is the BBC.
I must have come to the wrong place.
Is this where they do the comedy shows?
This is the BBC.
I think I've definitely come to the wrong place.
If you're Jimmy Cricket, star of Jimmy's cricket team, you most certainly have.
I get no respect. The way I'm treated, I've got a good mind to get another job and give up show business completely. The other day, there was a tap on my door. Well, the plumber's a funny fella. But it's the funny people that come to the door, folks. I opened the door, there was a woman there. She said, I'd been sent by the catalogue. I said, that's funny, I don't remember ordering you. The next door neighbour came around the other day. I let him in. He said, how many rolls of wallpaper did you take to do that living room? I said, 12. He was in a week later. He said, I've got 2 rolls left over. I said, so have I. He didn't even knock at the door the other morning. He barged straight in. He said, I was going to the newspaper shop and your dog went for me. I said, well, he's never went to the newspaper shop for me. He said, didn't I see you standing on the field all on your own for 6 hours? I said, you did. I was trying to get an OBE. He said, how do you mean? I said, I read in the newspaper. You get the OBE if you're out standing in your field. And there's more. Well, I opened it. The big one was about last Tuesday week. I opened the door, and there was a gypsy there. She said, run across my hand with silver. I said, who do you think I am, the Lone Ranger? Enough of this rubbish, because we've got a much better class of rubbish coming next.
Hello? I'm the cleaner. Who do you want? Mr. Bradley? Just a minute. Mr. Bradley! Telephone! He's coming.
Bradley's Wooden Leg Factory. Who? Charlie? Hold on. Charlie, you're wanted on the phone. You better get a move on, it's long distance.
Hello? Charlie speaking.
This is the WLU office.
The Wooden Leg Union?
Yes. We voted to strike as from now. Get all the men out as quickly as possible.
All the lads out, now?
Yes, we're striking with immediate effect.
Well, what are we striking for?
More not old money.
More not old money? But I'm quite happy with me not old money. He paid for me and the missus to go to Benidorm last year.
Charlie, if you don't strike, you'll get the boot.
Well, make sure it's for the left foot. Right, lads, official strike. Everybody out.
I've cracked it.
It's the heat.
After 5 years as a penniless scrounger, I've been given free membership of BUM, the Beggars Union of Miscreants.
You're a bum.
Get off your bum.
Official.
What difference does it make being a member of BUM?
They teach you the correct way to beg and cop for more money.
But you're a senior BBC Radio 2 announcer.
I can't keep a family on the money they pay me.
I know, Bill, but what difference does it make being a member of BUM?
How to earn more money out on the streets begging.
How?
Singing. Last week I sang Bless This House twice, and I bought a BMW on Friday. This one's the clincher. This one destroys them.
Which one's that?
The official theme song of the National Association of Pub and Club Singers Affiliated.
What song is it?
My Way. Tears into pieces does My Way. Finish up with a villa in Marbella before the week's out.
Away you go.
Right. And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain.
My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. God bless you, God. You're a clock.
I remember the words now. I remember them.
I've lived a life that's full. I've travelled each and every highway.
You rotten swine, shut your face!
I've always liked Marbella. And more, much more than this, I did it my way.
Oh, no, you're not. You're doing it my way and taking the bread out of my mouth. Get lost. On your bike. I'm the official bum. And more, much more than this, I did it my way.
You are invited to join our very own Bill Pertwee as he takes us on a tour of this beautiful Britain.
Thank you. But first, regrets. I had a few, and then again too few to mention.
Brilliant. A quid. Oh.
Welcome to this beautiful Britain. I'm on the outskirts of the delightful market town of Layer Down. As I speak, I'm standing outside the only building which still carries on the centuries-old craft of knicker thatching. I understand they last a lifetime, but do take a bit of getting used to. Here to enlighten us further about this delightful town is the official guide.
We're now standing outside the famous corn market. This is an octagonal wooden building constructed entirely of stone. It was built in 1580 by Sir Guy de Wimpy. It was here that Queen Elizabeth I made Dando court jester and well-known midget of the day and knight of the realm. He's celebrated by jumping up and biting her on the fleshy part of the thigh.
The area abounds with colourful characters. Let us pause and have a word with Tilly the milkmaid. Good morning, Tilly.
Good morning to you, sir.
What are you doing with your milking stool on top of the barn?
It were a bowl.
In the 15th century, poverty was rife here until a timber yard was built and the delighted villagers ran through the streets shouting,
Timber! Timber!
The following year, an iron foundry was started, and yet again the villagers ran through the streets shouting,
Iron! Iron!
2 years later, a knacker's yard was opened. I'm now standing outside the unique Bladdermakers Hall.
Rather you than me.
For the benefit of the tourists, the bladdermakers still stand on the steps and perform the ritual of their unusual call.
Bladders high, bladders low. Who will buy my bladders? Oh.
I've bladders to hold your finest wine, and they will cost you 1 and 9.
Still the most popular stopping place for almost every tourist are the new toilets. Every year, millions of people visit the home of our greatest playwright, William Shakespeare. His home and the very room in which he wrote some of his greatest works, with the help of the beautiful Anne Hathaway, is preserved exactly as he left it. As one enters the tiny room, one can almost see them as they were all those years ago.
Willem? Willem?
She won't leave me alone for a minute, that woman. I'm trying to write and I haven't got a quill. Go and fetch me a quill.
A quill, Willem?
A feather from a duck's bum. I'm having a board. I've been bored out of every pub in Stratford.
You be working too hard, Willem.
Yes. Well, maybe later I'll take a stroll along the banks of the Avon and watch the swans laying their boxes of matches. I've got this work to finish first.
You still working on that Hamlet?
No, I knocked that off last week. The one I'm writing now is my finest work ever. It's a belter. I'm not kidding. People will be talking about this long after I'm dead and gone.
What's it called?
Neighbours. Hey, that was stupid, wasn't it?
It was stupid, man. Very stupid.
You haven't forgotten about him, have you? Oh! No, not him. Him.
Ah, you mean him.
Is he on his way?
He's here now, stupid man.
My name's Marlowe, Philip Marlowe, private eye. My other eye's doing very well. It's on a roll. I just got back from the DA's office. He wanted to know what I was doing between 11 and 11:30. I told him I'd been taking a shower. He knew I wasn't lying. He told me to go home and get dressed. I was hungry, so I went to my favorite Chinese eating joint. I'd known the owner ever since he arrived from his native China. He saw me and headed straight for my table.
Okay, I'm in the new if it's not my favourite club here. Hi, it's grand to see you, laddie. It's right grand to see you, Boniface new. Okay,
Hello, Chang. I'm hungry. What have you got?
Aye, well, no. There's McSweet and McSour, McCurried McChicken, McChow McMean, McPeking McDuck, McChop McSwee, or McPrawn McBall.
I'll have the McPorridge.
McRightway.
Oh, there's lovely to see you again, Bach.
Hands up all those who can guess what's coming next.
Yet there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I let out more than I could chew.
Then get your teeth fixed.
You know that we'll always keep a welcome in the hillside, Sos van Bach Harriads.
Hello, Su Ling. I'd like a Bloody Mary.
Why don't you try a Bloody Megan?
What's the difference?
About 3 days in hospital.
I was watching the guy at the corner table. He had a portable phone with chips and peas. He was nervous. He was twiddling his thumbs. Nothing unusual about that, except that he had 3. He lit a cigar and started blowing smoke rings. I'd seen guys blow smoke rings before, but they blew them out of their mouths. He stood up. He was in his early 70s, or worried a lot for a 20-year-old. He limped over to my table on a stick. He showed me a photograph of a beautiful dame in her early 20s. Find her for me, he pleaded. Your daughter? He shook his head. My wife. Now I understood the stick and the limp. I told him that I'd be in touch. It's a nice place. He thanked me and turned on his heels. He said, go away, you nasty little heels. Poor guy. If there was one guy in this whole big city full of poor guys with problems and wives who'd gone off the rails more times than a freight train with square wheels, it was Chang. I thought I'd get his advice. I called him over. Over?
Aye, laddie. What is it?
Recognize the dame in this picture?
Aye, I do.
Any idea who she's run off with?
Aye, I have.
Don't mess me about, Chang. Tell me his name.
I could if I wanted, but I'm not going to.
Why not?
I'm in one of my moods. I saw those fellas coming through the door.
Have any of you guys seen this dame? My name is Philip. Oh, who cares?
I'm a retired knit nurse.
We both are.
I like classical music.
We both do.
I've got the Enigma variations.
We both have.
I've had to buy a rubber ring.
And we both have. As we meander through this beautiful...
Bill, you're not doing another Beautiful Britain.
I forgot to do this bit before.
You're not doing it, Bill, and that's final. In your own time, Bill.
Bungit Hall and the 15th century tavern, Bungit Hall Inn, is now a ruin since it was erected by the council in 1974.
Just half a mile from the village.
Yeah, what's the idea?
Mind your own business. I'm doing my own Beautiful Britain. Just half a mile from the village still stands the very first nudist camp built in this century. Every evening, the nudists meet for the bingo in the recreation hall, and the passerby can still hear the call of eyes down, look in, and try not to laugh.
I don't want to play this game. It's a stupid game anyway.
I like anything that's stupid.
You've come to the right place. Just listen to this.
I need help. I don't know who to turn to.
I'm the duty sergeant at this police station. Perhaps I can be of some assistance. What is the nature of your complaint?
Obscene
Obscene?
phone calls.
Obscene phone calls.
Very obscene phone calls.
I see.
I get these phone calls and I hear the breathing, the heavy breathing. It's a panting, more of a panting and gasping and panting and gasping and lots of oohs and ahs, ooh, and the grunting, he grunts as well. He rings me up and I'm all alone in my little house and I'm vulnerable. My hands begin to tremble and I can feel my knees going.
Tell me, when you hear
He
him...
never speaks, but I've got this picture of him in my mind. A big hefty lad, strong and virile and full of masculine strength and vigour. Strong of arm and chest. The fire of desire in his voice.
Well, we could try and trace him.
And the thighs, ooh, the thighs. I can see him striding towards me with his thighs full of purpose.
Yes. Well, if you feel that we should...
Worst of all, he's got the longings. He's got the longings and the yearnings and the urges. Ooh, it's too much for any woman.
You've got to be strong. He'll stop telephoning you sooner or later.
He has. Why do you think I'm here? I want you to find out what's happened to him.
Here we are, outside the ancient...
We've done that bit, Bill.
On your bike, mate. I've thought of another bit. I'm standing outside the home of the late Sir Wareham Knightley. Legend has it that in the centre of the village green was set a large stone, and impaled within the stone was a sword. It was said that whosoever could remove the sword from the stone would become the Earl of the Shire. Countless men tried and all failed, until one day there chanced upon the green a simple youth. He came with his head held high.
I am a simple youth with my head held high.
He was so small of stature that many did laugh, mock and ridicule.
Laugh, mock, and ridicule. Laugh, mock, and ridicule.
The youth paid them no heed as he took a firm grip on the hilt of the mighty sword. For many a long hour he tugged, he heaved, and he pulled at the sword, his brow wet with sweat as he strained every sinew and muscle, until at last the sword was free from the stone. The youth stood holding the sword aloft, and with his head held high, he did proclaim with pride in his voice and tears in his eyes,
I am the Earl of the Shire, and I have a hernia.
Late night final, late night final, late night final.
Hot chestnuts! Hot chestnuts! Hot chestnuts!
Nip off you, nip off you. Got no right to be here, got no right to be here.
Got as much right to be here as you have. Got as much right to be here as you have.
I'm the only one allowed here, I'm the only one allowed here.
Fresh sage, mint and parsley! Fresh sage, mint and parsley!
Now we've got the woman at it. Now we've got the woman at it.
Well, the pair of you can hop it, the pair of you can hop it.
Get your hands off me up chestnut. Get your hands off me up chestnut.
Don't mow me sage and parsley! Don't mow me sage and parsley!
Hello, what's going on here? Hello, what's going on here? They started at Constable, they started at Constable.
You can all come and meet at the station! You can all come and meet at the station!
Let's talk about marriage.
I'm thinking of asking you for a divorce.
Thank you.
No wonder the kids never bring their friends home.
Thank you.
You know, if you work at it, if you can make that effort, marriage can be a thing of rare beauty.
And you'd know.
I do know.
Are you married, or do you burn your own toast?
The right marriage can lead to a wonderful family life.
I thought I was doing the right thing when I married her.
Thank you.
I'll say this for her. Nobody can touch her rissoles.
Thank you.
We were a happy family. I can remember when I was little, playing on the kitchen floor with my 5 brothers and 8 sisters. My mammy sitting in her favourite chair doing her embroidery. A simple message to hang over the bed. It said, "Stay on your own side." I had a loving and caring father who came home from work at night, covered from head to toe in cement. I could never understand it. He was a bank manager. It's those little surprise gifts that help to keep a marriage interesting and alive, even if it does mean buying something you're not used to.
Hello, sir. How can I help you?
Well, I'm looking for a rather personal present for my wife. I thought something French, in silk.
What did you have in mind, sir?
Well, I think she'd rather like a pair of cameo knickers.
Cameo knickers?
Yes.
Is she going to wear them round her neck, sir? It's cami knickers you want, sir.
No, I don't want them. They're for my wife.
How about these?
Would you mind putting your frock down, miss?
I'm only trying to be helpful. How about these? Silk?
Nice.
Trimmed with lace?
Nice and feminine.
They are for women.
Of course.
A nice colour. Plum.
Stone me.
And we could have your wife's initials embroidered on the leg.
Oh, that's a good idea.
What is your wife's name, sir?
Nora Oldroyd.
N-O.
I'll borrow 4 cloth instead. Good day. Ladies and gentlemen, a few moments of musical magic as we welcome the husband and wife singing duo of Daphne and Cyril Billington. Daphne, Cyril, I must say that this is one of the highlights of my week.
I know that my darling, my very dearest Daphne would agree with me when I say we consider our visits here a unique privilege.
Cyril, my dearest sweetheart, you have spoken the very words I would have chosen myself.
My angel.
My very own Cyril. My reason for living.
Love you.
Love you.
How nice.
I've loved, I've laughed and cried. I've had all my share of losing. Thank you, Gav.
Will you please go away? Sorry. So you've been very busy working hard, as always?
When one has the pleasure of singing with Cyril, one would never call it work, but a rare musical experience.
Oh, dearest heart, how terribly kind.
From the heart, darling.
You've been on tour with a very popular operetta.
A wonderful and joyous occasion.
It's an operetta that will never lose its magic. It was composed by two of our greats in the light operatic field.
Giblets and somersaults.
Who?
He's at it again with the who bit. Giblets and somersaults.
It's Gilbert and Sullivan.
I'll have it done in poker work over the fireplace.
Good.
Next to you.
Which operetta was it?
I'll let Daphne tell you, because it has always been her favourite Gilbert and Sullivan work.
The Meccano.
What was that?
The Meccano.
Oh, dearie me. Meccano is a collection of bits and pieces fastened together in a sort of skeleton frame in any shape you care to mention.
A bit like you with a screw loose.
It's the Mikado.
I've got the brake on here, but it's no use. Every week he makes a holy show of
You
me.
seem to manage quite well in that department yourself, darling.
Was it a revival?
Well, she had to be revived every night.
Are you saying that I was chemicked? Shall I tell him about the desert song? Shall I tell him?
I hardly think that would prove of much interest to Mr. Cricket
In there,
here.
him stood there with more wrinkles than you'd find in 4.5 pounds of tripe. He's appearing in the desert song. He's supposed to be out dying of thirst in the burning desert, and he's got his pigging thermals on.
Oh, good gracious me, is that the time? I really must
You should
go.
have seen the panic in the dressing room. He couldn't find his denture fixative.
Excuse me, is this the place where they're doing the programme Wild Flowers in the Hedgerow?
No, it isn't. Many of your fans would like to know how you started your dazzling career in show business, Cyril.
Well, it all started after the war.
We beaten Kaiser Bill.
I didn't mean that war.
Oh, the replay.
Yes, it was 1945. I went into a review called Soldiers in Skirts.
That was 1945. You can take the skirt off now.
Daphne, this is my show, and I'm not having this sort of...
Why don't you stick your nose in your ear and blow your brains out? I haven't even started yet.
You've just finished. Music, credits, let's get out of here.
That was Jimmy's Cricket Team, starring Jimmy Cricket, with Bill Pertwee, Peter Goodright and Noreen Kershaw. The script was written by Eddie Braben. Jimmy's Cricket Team is an independent production for Radio 2 by Mike Craig Enterprises. Mike Craig Enterprises. What else does he do?
Bill, that's him over there.
Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. Oh, thank you, Governor. God bless you.
Who's got my pizza swine? Here, come here, you.
And
'88 to 91 FM. This is Radio 2 from the BBC.
The news at